In this video we're going to do some brake pipes on the back of this 110. It wasn't an intentional job, but later on, maybe at the weekend, I'll put a video up of replacing this rear cross member. But what happened was I had my friend Mike helping me, and when we were putting the tank in, we leaned against the axle and broke the brake pipe. That's how fragile and thin they were. So I'm going to replace those. But really, before I get started in this video, I want to show you something that is just absolutely terrible for cars and owners of these things who don't know what they're buying. Let me show you the caliper. Well, I'll do it live, bugger it. Editing, waste of time. So you can see by the fluid on the floor here, it's leaked out of this little joint here. We'd leaned against the pipe, broke it, so I'm going to try and get this pipe out. These are factory pipes, so they're 25 years old, so they don't owe him anything, but we're going to have a struggle with them. Now, if you can look at this, I've tried to got the lights in a better place, but can anybody shout out and tell me what you see that's not right? Well, notice there's no retention springs or clips, you know, or anything in there, just the pads rattling about. These are quite important to do a good job. Notice too, there's a pin in here, not in the end like this top one. You see there's a top pin in there, a split pin. This has got a split pin here, so that's not an original pin, and you can see how long it is. That's not the real sort of issue. This pad is extremely worn, but I'm not sure if you can pick it up. Can you see inside here how rusty that piston is? Now what's happening is that that piston acts like a barb, if you see what I mean, because it's rusty. It can't retract back into the housing, thus putting pressure on this pad all the time and wearing it out prematurely. But it is so rusty, I'm not going to even consider rebuilding this caliper. Why? Well, let's move the light down here and you can see why. Can you see how elongated the holes are here? These pins have been chattering in this housing, and it's the same at this side. Look, can you see? Can you see how they've elongated? So that means that caliper to me is a scrap one. You can see by the amount of rust built up, it's bad, but you know, some people diehards would weld those up and re-drill them, but for the time it's going to take, forget it. All right, it's not going to happen for me. But let me put the camera back up here, and I'll tell you my thoughts on this. Because get up there, strap. How did this get through inspection? How on earth did this pass inspection? Because even if they put it on a rolling road to test the efficiency of the brakes, I would very much be surprised that the brakes are working at all. You can see, perhaps, well, I'll take it off again. I forgot to do this bit. You can see by the condition of the discs, just at this side, how bad they are. Lord knows how bad they are on the inside. You see what I mean? So how did it get in inspection? Oh, this is always tricky, getting it back in. Anyway, so how did it pass inspection? When a car is imported into Canada or Quebec, it's supposed to go through an inspection. I'm not sure about other provinces, but there's like 2-tier inspections. You've got to have daytime running lights. So there's a federal inspection, that's for Canada, and there's also provincial inspection. Now in Quebec, the provincial inspection is a big safety. It's got to check everything. But they don't take the brakes off, they don't take the wheels off the car. But it seems strange that how it's got so bad. Didn't anybody look at these brake pipes and say how rusty they are? Didn't anybody pick up on the cross member how rusty it was? or the back door. You know, these are all telltale signs, aren't they? So once rust's into a car, it's everywhere. But strangely enough, the front end of this chassis is quite good. In fact, where we welded the crossmember rod was very, very good. The only downside about it is the crossmember that goes under the seats, under the middle. That's rotten. That needs doing. But how did it pass inspection? That gets me. You know. And another thing that gets me as well. This car went to Canadian Tire, big national outfit for car repairs and selling bloody things from harpoons to hair grips. It went to Canadian Tire to get new tyres fitted and balanced. Well, didn't the mechanics say, whoa, this doesn't look very good? You know, because their job is to pick up some faults to get some more work in. They didn't even mention it. Now, I've got no parts for this. I've got nothing. But it really needs rotors and calipers, both sides. Lord knows what the front's like. I don't know whether I should look. But it just shows you what a mess about mechanics jobs are, because customers sometimes think we're fleecing them, trying to get more work out of them. But this is why I do these videos, so the customer can actually see how bad this is before we start. So anyway, less of this rambling. Let's get down to doing some brake pipes. Now, fortunately, we can actually try and get this pipe off and copy it. All right, but we're going to replace it with cunifer, which is like a copper nickel, not steel. Steel's a waste of time here in Canada, just rust out. But first, got to get the old one off. This is going to be fun.